Okay, ringing up Christopher Browell, the local authority, to see how leave a message. Also, it's ringing.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07762477196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Browell. It's Mr. Hussain here regarding my brother, Mr. Talib Hussain. Today is Monday, the 18th of September 2023, and the time is around about 12:30. And I see the fact that you have your mobile phone switched on. So that leads me to believe that you have that you were simply had the mobile phone switched off last week. Maybe you were on holiday or something. But the reality is that you have had your mobile phone switched on today. So I take it that all my previous voice messages that I've left have now been obviously picked up by yourself, simply because this phone is a live phone. So I was slightly concerned that you may have permanently switched off your phone, and that is not the case. You are getting my voice messages, and obviously, as you can see, my voice messages are not just directed to yourself. As you know, in our previous conversations, there's very little that you can do. You have basically been acting as a simple mouthpiece or a point of contact for the local authority, because it serves their agenda previously to have a point of contact that I could speak to, that I could raise issues and concerns with, while you, the local authority, effectively stood back like vultures, looking to see when the situation deteriorated, when through the aspect of care or burnout. So hence why you were always looking to speak to me after a fortnight or every 2 weeks to see what the situation was. And upon failure of me escalating the matter or allowing it to further deteriorate, you have then chosen to take a quite clear aggressive attack upon myself by coming to abduct my brother. And it's now 42 days later that we have absolutely no idea where my brother is. You evidently are not working in any legal framework, because if you were working in any kind of legal framework or doing things lawfully, then you would say, look, this is what we've done, this is what we're accusing you of, this is what we believe is happening, this is what the situation is, and these are your legal rights and the legal rights of your brother. You've not done anything. You've just come down one day, all right, made a pretext or an excuse to abduct my brother and to arrest me so you can search the property. You've removed items from our home and searched the whole house and photographed it all, simply to establish that there was a neglect on my part for providing care, when the reality is that you've been accumulating all this money. You, the local authority, have been acting malevolently. You, the local authority, have done all this stuff, and they're looking to make me an easy scapegoat. Now, retrospectively speaking, I feel very justified that I didn't take the money from you, because you were looking to set me up. You've always been doing this. You've been looking to set me up in order to fail, so you can then lay blame upon myself and come across as the righteous, benevolent local authority, just simply doing your job and acting within the law, while someone like myself would be classed as aggressive, abusive, obnoxious, and somebody who's terrorizing the professionals. You would have it that way because it clearly serves your personal agenda in order to financially profiteer and plunder from my brother and myself and our rights. This is not acceptable. I mean, obviously, it's 42 days later. We have absolutely no idea where our brother is, what kind of health condition he is. We're not even allowed to speak to him. Now, if, for example, if my brother had gone to prison, or if I had gone to prison, my brother and I would still have a right to see each other. And that reminds me of exactly what happened when you did this in 2016. Even though you had convicted me of defrauding my own mother and brother, my mother actually came to the prison to visit me. So we have certain inalienable human rights to our private family life, that which you're denying us now by restricting my contact and communication with my brother. And this simply goes to help establish that you fully agree with me me that my brother's care is worth now £1 million, because otherwise why would you be doing all this stuff? Why would you look to act against the rules and laws that you have created, that you ask me to abide by, and now all of a sudden you don't abide by the very same laws that you would force upon others, and would take a reprisal action against anybody who would fail to live up to your laws? I've abided by all your laws, and yet here I am looking to be further targeted and victimized without access to my brother. And what did you think 42 days later that I would have a mental breakdown? As you can see, and as you, the local authority, can see, I'm mentally very, very resilient. I'm more mentally resilient than you could have ever imagined. And therefore now you were trying to get me to have a mental breakdown, so then you, the local authority, in collaboration with your partners, the health authority, could look to fix a problem that you had created. In fact, that is your modus operandi, isn't it? You look to create problems, you look to create those problems yourself, and then you act as saying that we are looking to solve this problem, or help solve the problem that you yourself have created. This is a problem that you created yourself, and now you are looking to target and victimize me, and say that you're acting in the best interest and the laws that you are governed under. None of this is true. All you're really doing is you're literally looking to financially profit and plunder from our human misery that you've created. Now, 42 days later, where does my brother stand? Where does I stand? Where do the court proceedings stand, where you were paying off the housing association to make us homeless? I mean, I'm just aghast at the situation that you're refusing to even engage with me or speak with me. Now, what's the problem? You come to my house as social workers saying, oh, we were just in the area, thought we'd come in and see how things are going, when the reality
you have 15 seconds recording time remaining.
When the reality has always been, Mr. Browell, you, the local authority, are predators and vultures. You come down and exploit your position of authority and power to escalate human misery and suffering, and this is exactly what you've done. I urge you once again to engage with me, to contact me, to let me know where my brother is, to allow me to see my brother, because he's going to die.
Your recording time has expired. To leave your message, press 1. Message sent. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Yeah. So no doubt my brother's gonna die in their care and custody, just as my mother had died in their care and custody. And then, as in the case of my brother, they're saying, oh, it's nothing to do with us. Go blame the court of protection. They're the ones that authorized this order. Basically the local authority have clearly financially profited in my mother's case to a tune of over hundreds of thousands of pounds, which they state that they are acted in my mother's best interest to accumulate from me, and then plundered and profited to feed all of its own lackeys and associates, and now left my mother in a £40,000 debt after she's died, effectively leaving us with no inheritance. And now all of a sudden they're doing the same thing with my brother. If my brother dies right now, who gets the money? Over the £100,000, they're just going to accumulate it and claim it all for themselves, aren't they? They're going to say, well, it's our money, just as the £1,000 that they've taken from my bedroom, just as the jewelry, my mum's jewelry they've taken from the safe in my bedroom. These are people are gangsters and criminals, and yet they're purportedly acting in the public interest, publicly as a city of culture, and acting, and saying that they're acting in the best interest of the residents that they serve, when the reality is that they're only acting in their own best interest. They've turned cannibalistic and are attacking the very people that they're meant to be serving and safeguarding and protecting and looking after. The reality is this, that they are now acting with true malevolence and degeneracy against myself and my family, and no doubt to other people, because once they've learned how to do this, and once they've learned how to cover themselves up, and once they've created their own associates in the appropriate places in the various organizations, then they utilize those networks that they have in order to do this to other people, when other people unexperienced as myself are going to be left dumbfounded at exactly what's happening. How is it that the police can come down and abduct somebody and hold them captive and commit acts of tyranny and aggression and violence against the residents that you're meant to, innocent residents that you're meant to serve? Oh, they won't do this with hardcore criminals. They're scared of the hardcore criminals. In fact, not only are they scared of the hardcore criminals, they are in admiration of them. They're looking to look to them as a beacon of light of how to deal with the situation, as ruthless criminals, they admire those people. The innocent people that they are meant to serve and protect, they despise and hold them in contempt because they don't like to be subservient or provide a service to the people that they are paid to provide a service to. What they would rather do is they would rather do acts of criminality and malevolence whilst holding public office and public positions. Absolutely horrendous and disgusting. And I'm left with very, very little options to do now, know where to go next. This is simply ridiculous and abuse of power, and no doubt my brother's now going to die and under much the same consequences or much the same scenario as they did with my mother, simply acting with aggression, hoping I would have a mental breakdown or deteriorate further, so then they can claim to be on top, and they get their money supply from the public that they serve, whom they are fooling and effectively attacking. Absolutely horrendous, absolutely ridiculous.